Hi, welcome back, guys. So, consistency is not easy, but I want to be consistent. I straddle a lot of activities, and sometimes I get very knackered, and it's not been easy at all, I must say. However, we just have to be consistent. I want to be very disciplined and consistent. So, I am Onyenkuzi Mahadum, and I go by different names. It's just that I cannot be put in a box. So, some persons know me as Invictus. Some of my friends know me as Invictus. Some persons know me as, by my name, Lilanya Chi. Some persons know me as Hope, so Hope and all of that. So, I'm going to be talking about so many things. I'm going to be an educational activist. I'm going to be talking about how we can better um, revolutionize education in Africa and in Nigeria, especially Nigeria at large, because I believe that we have the best of brains, the best of hands in Nigeria and, in Africa as a continent. We are very vast in resources, intelligence, and we do a lot more. I don't believe that we have any limitations, aside the ones that we have in our hearts. And it's, of course, the mind can be limited, when you think your mind is limited, but I don't want to be limited. I don't want to be put to a box. I believe that we are limitless. So yes, I believe that Nigeria can, amidst all of the chaos, amidst all of the things that are happening, our children suffer. When all of these things happen in our country, I also know for a fact that the children suffers. Our children suffer. We suffer, and that is very, very, very. That is indeed very, very. Um, it's it's very unwholesome. It's very debilitating to see that when the kids suffer, there are no regulations whatsoever in the educational system. Everybody just runs things unilaterally or arbitrarily and do things on their own. There are no supervisors, zonal supervisors, there are nobody that goes to see what people do. And whilst I understand that, it takes a lot, but I feel that there are so many things that our government can do, to benefit the educational system. Because indeed, I believe that I'm a proud proponent or advocate for education, both formal and informal, because I believe that I tell my students, and I know that people might call me out, but indeed, education is not the only yardstick for success. But there's this caveat: when you're educated, somebody cannot treat you like they would treat an ignorant person. They would treat ignorant persons because you are not just skilled, but you're educated. So let's say you're an educated mechanic. You're able to carry out assessments for cars. You know what you're doing. You're not just skilled entrepreneur. You're not just skilled as an apprentice, but you're also skilled. You're also educated. You went through the four walls of schools. And for those people that did not go to the four walls of schools, that are just skilled, because our fingers are not equal, they can still do very well. I've seen people who did not go to school. Some of my friends didn't finish school. They went to learn a skill, and one of them, Samuel, is a very, very seasoned fashion designer. you know, and I pray that, God helps him in to even become more global, because I want all of my friends to win. I want all of us to win. So what am I trying to explain? I feel that I know that education is not just the only yardstick to success. Skill acquisition, helping the children think critically. Many of our children do not think, cannot assess situations, are not able to, know what to do, at the top of their feet. Many of them have been raised to depend on their parents, on another person's opinions, and that's why it's easy for them to be swayed here and there, to be tossed by air here and there. If truly, we're able to put so many programs in place, for education, for skill acquisition, for formal and informal trainings, I believe, and so many other things, conferences, seminars, projects, symposias, and all of that. I believe that, we are going to do a lot more. So I'm going to be bringing a lot of things to us, from history down to how I think or how I believe that education can be a tool for sustainable development in Africa, especially in Nigeria. Thank you.